Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the video. I'm GetGoodGuy, and today I'm going to talk to you about the art of winning 1v1s. It's a key part of any first-person shooter, and yet I've never really covered it on the channel in any sort of depth, so let's fix that. But first, I want to quickly mention two things. Firstly, I'm aware that we've hit 10k subs. I'm super happy about it, and I want to say thanks to all of you who have subscribed for being a part of this. It means a lot and gives me real hope for the future of this content creation venture. I will be producing a video to celebrate the milestone at some point this week, but it's a challenge video, so it takes me a little bit longer to make than this kind of stuff. Secondly, some of you have said that you have notifications turned on, but you don't always receive them for my videos. If that's you, or you'd like to now join the notification squad, what you have to do is click to get notifications with the bell button, then click on the options button that should pop up, and select to always be notified. Now you won't miss a thing. Hopefully, as long as YouTube doesn't screw that up as well. Anyway, I've taken far too long on other subjects. Back to today, and winning 1v1s. If you're new here and wondering why you'd listen to me, well, that's fair enough. Firstly, I just like to help people. So if you take the time to listen and happen to gain something, then great. But if you want me to actually kind of qualify myself, then I have a 3.19 infantry KD and have spent 99% of my time in BF1 playing as infantry. So 1v1 gunfights are kind of just what I do in this game. So hopefully I'll be able to help you at least a little bit, most of you. So the main starting point for winning 1v1s is knowing your weapon. What you've done with one gun to win a 1v1 won't necessarily work with another. So say for an annihilator, running at the enemy and hip firing at close range while staying on target at chest level, you'll likely be good to go. But now try that with say a Hue at low weight, your results will probably be a lot worse. For that weapon, you likely want to be set and ready to fight, not running into the enemy and potentially aiming down sight before firing. If you can be pre-aiming for when the enemy arrives as well, that's even better. You need to be ready for them to come at you to take them down. So don't treat every fight with every weapon the same way. Think about what you're using and how to best utilize it. If you can then use what the enemy is using against them, then even better. For example, if you notice that the enemy ahead of you is playing assault, maybe you see them holding a shotgun, keep your distance a bit more. A shotgun can now rarely one-shot people anywhere outside of very close range. So if you can keep a bit more space between you, they can likely only get the one shot off before you kill them. Then at the other end of the spectrum, most scouts will panic if you rush them while zigzagging rather than running in a straight line at them. Use this kind of information against the enemy. Next up, we have crosshair placement. By this, I mean be looking at where the enemy might come from. There's no reason to walk around with your crosshair set higher or lower than you need to shoot if an enemy turns up. If you're already pointing at chest level or head level even, when someone comes around the corner and say they're looking slightly up in the sky, you're probably going to win that fight. I would generally say at close range, aim for chest level by the way. Aiming at head level means you might miss some more shots, but it's really up to you about how precise you want to be. The overriding rule though is the faster you can acquire the target and land damage, the higher the chance you have of coming out on top. So if you think there might be someone coming around the corner, look there. If you think there's a chance of someone being up in a window, look there. You get the idea. Be ready for the fight just in case it happens. And then on the theme of being ready, use information around you and rely upon probable chance. You can hear footsteps near you. Make sure you use them to work out where someone might be coming from. You can then throw on top of that the sound of gunfire, reloads, soldier callouts, and more. I strongly recommend using at least a half decent headset in order to truly be able to use sound to help you. But then you also have visual cues. What about looking at where your allies are shooting at, or paying attention to ally skulls on the map? All of these things help you to process the battle happening around you and can give you an advantage. Be ready for their enemy and take them down. If you just can't get to grips with using these cues, then you're going to have to rely on reaction time. Obviously, this will be more successful if you happen to have fast reactions, but everyone can improve how quickly they can react by simply being ready. Be present in the moment. If you're running around at 50% attention, reaching for your bag of chips and looking out of the window, well, you're gonna die. Be alert and be ready to fire. You can also add to all of this good movement. If you come up against a good player in a 1v1, you're going to struggle to win if you stop dead still as soon as you see them, bring up your sights and then start firing. You're just an easy target for them. A good strafe will help you out a huge amount. This generally means moving from side to side whilst you have the gunfight. Be a harder target to hit. Now some weapons aren't great at being fired while moving, so be sensible and again keep in mind what you're using. But most of the time, making yourself harder to hit whilst keeping your shot on target will help you to be a lot more successful. Some people like to get creative and throw in crouches here and there. I don't find it to be as effective in Battlefield as it is in other FPS games, but you can play around with that if you like to see if it helps you. Also, pre-firing can be great, either by firing at a corner because you know someone is about to come around it, or simply firing from the hip as someone appears before you go into ADS. But again, keep in mind what you're using. For example, most LMGs now lose accuracy if fired from the hip and then get pulled into ADS without you having stopped firing in between. Then to tack onto the end of the movement idea, jumping and sliding corners can really mess some enemies up, so have a play around with that too and see what you're comfortable with. Beyond all of this, you can't beat good positioning. It's a hard thing to teach, but it's vital. I did actually make a video about positioning quite some time back. I'll link to that video in the description and in my pinned comment if you'd like to see it and brush up on your positioning skills. And so with that said, those are essentially my key rules for winning more 1v1 gunfights. I hope it helps you out. Whether you're already a 1v1 beast or not, practice makes perfect, so get back out there and drop some bad guys. Now let's go over to the Board of Awesome for the epic people who allow you to get content from me full-time by supporting the channel on Patreon. They are the main reason you're watching this video right now, so thanks to everyone on here. If you want to join them on the Board of Awesome, the link to the Patreon page is in the description and my pinned comment. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you don't want to miss future videos, remember to turn on notifications with the bell button, and feel free to like, share and subscribe. I'm GetGoodGuy and I'll see you next time. Laters.